The wind was cold that evening, and the streets were nearly empty. A tired father walked slowly along the sidewalk, his young son holding his hand. They had spent the whole day looking for work, but no one had hired him. In his pocket was his very last dollar. As they passed a small corner near a closed shop, they saw an old beggar sitting on the ground. The man's clothes were torn, and his hands were shaking from the cold. He looked up at the father with tired eyes, but said nothing. The little boy whispered, "Dad, is he hungry?" The father stopped. He reached into his pocket and felt the single dollar. It was the only money he had left, the money he planned to use to buy a small piece of bread for both of them. For a moment he hesitated. Then he gently placed the dollar into the beggar's hand. The old man looked shocked. "Son, this may be your last money." The father smiled softly. "Maybe, but today you need it more than I do." The father and his son continued walking down the street, not knowing what they would eat that night. Just a few seconds later, the sound of an engine echoed behind them. A shiny black luxury car slowly pulled up beside them and stopped. The window rolled down, and a well-dressed man inside looked at the father with a warm smile. "I saw what you did back there," the man said. "You gave away your last dollar." The father shrugged. "He needed it." The man nodded. "People with hearts like yours are rare." He stepped out of the car and handed the father a small envelope. "Inside is a job opportunity at my company, and some money to help you and your son tonight." The father opened the envelope with shaking hands. There were several $100s inside. Tears filled his eyes. The man smiled again and said, "Kindness always finds its way back." The luxury car slowly drove away, leaving the father and his son standing under the streetlight, no longer worried about tomorrow. That night, the little boy looked up at his father and said quietly, "Dad, giving is never losing, right?" The father smiled and squeezed his son's hand. "No, son," he said. "Sometimes it's the beginning of a miracle."